While I get set up here, I just wanted to.
Wait a second. Just hold it. Hold this 1 minute.
Anyways, I just wanted to let everyone know I am the only one coming up here because we have so many of our committee and staff in attendance. It didn't seem fair to recreate the Hunger Games for these seats up here. But if everybody who is affiliated with the Seattle team would raise your hands, give a little wave so everyone can see. Meeting.
Hands over here. Take a second.
If you want your presentation to be on the recording, you're going to have to find a way to turn off those overhead lights in the front. It's better. It's a little bit.
Kevin, is that good enough?
It's better. Let's put it that way. Yes, yes, that's better.
People should introduce themselves too.
She did. Kathy Bond.
All right. Thank you for your patience there. I hit the buttons in the wrong way and then needed our tech team to come up and fix the button mashing. I did the wrong direction. But yes, my name is Kathy Bond. I am the chair of the Seattle 2025 Worldcon. And pretty much everybody in the room who raised their hands earlier is varying levels of staff for us. You will have to go up to them individually to get their names. But so we are going to be in Seattle. These are some of the things you'll be able to see within walking distance or busing distance from our convention center. And we have been having some fantastic outreach occurring, reaching a lot of new fans here in the Seattle area. Events like the community, curated community chats organized by Ted Chiang through Seattle Arts and Lecture. And also all the way to the Geek Craft Expo, which was last weekend on Thanksgiving Day weekend. And our reduced rate and Friend of Worldcon rates have been chosen by a lot of new people. When we look at who is buying those rates, they are not names that we recognize. And I think that is just really, really cool and awesome. As a convention, this is what the weather's going to be like when you're here. Sunny with a hint of mountain in the background. And we're really leaning into, as you've seen, the people modeling our shirts this weekend and everything, our mid-century aesthetic from the last time that Worldcon was in Seattle. And the Pacific North, these are some of the things that you can see further afield when you come out next summer. There are 5 new trolls hidden around the region, Norwegian trolls. One of them will be really easy, the other 4 will be a little bit of a trek. But the Pacific Northwest is a community of learners, readers, and doers, makers and creators, and you're going to experience all of that at our Worldcon with a particular emphasis on our robust hands-on workshops. And as part of that hands-on fun, we already have some free downloadable crafting patterns on our website. So if you go to our website, click on fun stuff, you too can cross-stitch bookmark or embroider a pillow. And we have some of those kits here for the bookmarks. So if you would like to create and craft yourself a nifty little stocking stuffer, please come see us. We will gladly sell a bookmark cross-stitch kit to you. And you're going to experience this all in the brand new Seattle Convention Center Summit building and some updates on things that will be happening in that building. Panelist invitations and surveys will start going out in January. People can still submit panel ideas and panelist interest on our website. And we are currently projecting 600 hours of panel programming with 38 different tracks and 1,000 hours of stuff to do. Dealer's table and fan table And art show applications are now live as well, and they will be open until January 15th. And don't forget Worldcon After Dark. That is going to be in the Sheraton Hotel, 3.5 to 4 block walk away from the Summit Building, depending on which door you go in. And that's where we're going to have our dances, all-night gaming, music, parties, and other late-night activities like horror readings and other things that make sense late at night.
Cabaret shows.
And cabaret shows, etc.
Comments. Are there still rooms available?
So I'm not taking more comments from the peanut gallery. So we do also have some special announcements. Reminder, Seattle has decided to award a Hugo in speculative poetry. We hope to have some information up in the new year from our poet laureate, Brandon O'Brien, that will let people new to the field know where to find things to nominate. Seattle itself has had a city poet laureate since 2015, which extended upon the legacy of the Poet Populist program begun in 1999. We also have a bookstore dedicated entirely to poetry in downtown Seattle. So have some poetry. And finally, our other announcement, many of you will have seen it. We are also making changes to the format of the business meeting and moving to hosting the business meeting prior to the Worldcon over 4 days in a virtual environment. It is our hope that this will allow many groupings in our community who have been unable historically to participate in the governance structure of our community. A social media announcement was made this past Wednesday on that point, and it will be made again next week in our monthly newsletter. And that's it.
Okay, let's take questions. Not surprisingly, there's some questions around your virtual business meeting. Let me just take a couple. Given that this is a brand new and has never been done before, would you be willing to use these virtual meetings simply as a test and introducing people to the business meeting instead of being the business meeting?
Jesse, do you want to take that question?
I'm Jessie Lipp. I use they, them pronouns. I will be the presiding officer for the Seattle business meeting. Can you just repeat the question again, just to make sure I'm answering what I think I'm answering?
No.
Given that this is brand new and has never been done before, would you be willing to use these virtual meetings simply as a test and introducing people to the business meeting instead of being the business meeting?
So first of all, I would say that while it is true that the WSFIS business meeting has not been run in this way before, I would not consider this to be brand new and never done before. Many groups have been holding meetings very similar to ours using virtual methods. I've been helping to run some of those for many years now. We will have the plan is to have a test meeting before, well, test meeting is a little, there will be an opportunity for folks to participate in basically a meeting, quote unquote, where you can test out the software and get some familiarity with it so that folks are hopefully used to using it before we get to the meeting proper. So there will be an opportunity for folks to test it out and get some familiarity with it. I understand the reasoning of folks who think that we should basically do like a series of test run meetings virtually first. I question the efficacy of that idea. I think the reality is that if we have virtual meetings that are no stakes and are purely for show, the reality is that people aren't going to come to them. Maybe some folks will, but most won't. And it would not actually be a test of the real world conditions of a meeting. So I question that we would actually be able to do that in a way that accomplished something. But we're confident in our ability to run a virtual meeting well.
There was a related question. Let me just try and summarize it. This is about the decision-making to change from an in-person to a virtual business meeting. You have bid on the basis of a physical business meeting, and that
I think
changed.
that's more of a question for Kathy.
Okay.
I was involved in the
I
bid.
think some people would like to just know something around your thinking on that.
I suppose the short summary to that is that we started bidding in a very, very long time ago. Things have changed both in the community and in the world since that time, so plans have also changed. We do still have a room reserved for the business meeting portions that will take place in person in Seattle. And it is also reserved in case, as we go through the virtual process, the business meeting chair deems it necessary to have that space available in person as well.
Very, very specific question. Someone following yesterday's panel on social media was looking for who your social media head is. It's not on your website. Who is that?
So first of all, to whoever looked through our website, thank you very much. We really appreciate the fact that you found this hole. They inadvertently dropped off of our org chart at some point, so we will be adding them back on probably after this weekend. But our social media team lives under the publications division and is led by Dave Hogue.
Okay. Another change that you've announced is not to have a traditional con suite. Could you summarize that?
The summary for that is it is too expensive. And we are choosing to use the money in other ways to enhance the experience of all of our members at the convention. There are also going to be plenty of food opportunities for people. The convention center is setting up many different, they have a lot of flexible setups for food that we can put in a lot of different places. So we will have food stations available in the second floor flex hall. We also will probably have some in some of the concourses and hallways as well. And then if you just walk outside of the convention center itself, within a block, you will have dough zone, you will have Indian food, you will have a lot of different options for you to be able to eat.
Another quick one, masquerade coordinator, who is, when do the rules come out?
I mean, I think we have hired our masquerade coordinator, but I am actually not 100% sure on that or when the rules will come out. But the masquerade coordinator will be on our org chart under the events division if they are not already hired.
Couple of IT questions. Are you using your own software or using existing formats like Zoom, etc.? Is this for the business?
This is for the business.
And also, what platform will you be using for handling voting?
So all of our software and platform decisions will be announced as soon as we are able to make those announcements to everyone. We did bifurcate this business meeting announcement in a way because we know it is a change for people. We felt it was more important to get the information out about the change itself first, with the details about platform and software and how exactly it's going to work later.
This will be for you and Ellie. From the results of last month's US presidential elections, do you anticipate a decrease in attending membership from the international community? And if so, how will that affect your plans in other areas?
Asking the long-term federal employee how they feel about the U.S. election is a interesting thing. Basically, I guess I would say yes. I would expect that we will probably have some decrease in international attendance. How it's going to affect all of our plans, not particularly much, because we have been focusing on a lot of local community outreach, as I referenced in the presentation. We've been going to a lot of author events at Third Place Books and Elliott Bay Books. We've also been partnering with Seattle Arts and Lectures and attending Ted Ching's curated community chats. We've been going to Geek Craft Expo, so we've been really focusing on getting all of the people who are fandom adjacent, but who have not attended conventions, to come to our convention.
understand Worldcon is providing food, but will there be a suite for members to gather for socializing?
So yes, there will be a spot in our flex hall on the second floor. We co-located essentially, that second floor is ginormous. When you see the pictures of it, it doesn't look as big as it is until you realize, as you're looking across the floor, that the small little thing you see that's about this big is actually the door. The very human-sized, oversized door. So that is where the dealer's room is going to be, all of our displays, our art show, and then also a space that we're calling a member lounge, where one of the food outlets will be set up, and also we're going to have a crafting lounge in there, and a lot of fun things for people to be able to gather and socialize there. And then in addition to that, the Summit Building has a lot of already populated areas, already furniture populated areas for people to gather in the hallways and sit, and a lot of them.
Will your convention publish progress reports, which will be posted on your website?
No, we are not planning to do progress reports, except maybe one that is still being decided. But we are doing monthly newsletters that are going out on a regular schedule for people once a month. The rest of that question also had some questions about how to collate it and things like that, that we thank the person for suggesting. Those are some good ideas. We'll probably implement some of those. And then we do also have our monthly blog, and that is, we have a set of tags on the blog part of our website that you can use to navigate to find previous entries and things like that. And part of this is part of our communication strategy. I think if you were here for the Hugo panel, one of the takeaways was like you should communicate in multiple ways with people, because how people receive information and communication is very different. And that is part of what we are doing here with that. Some people really like blogs and they get it that way. Some people want to go to the static website and look it up when they can find it. Some people like a newsletter that shows up in their inbox once a month. And so we're really embracing doing all of that.
Last question. Have you published a code of conduct, and how will you ensure that it works in practice?
So we do have a code of conduct. It is on our website, and it has linked to it an anti-racism statement as well as a diversity statement. And how we are going to have it, how we are implementing it, we've hired a code of conduct team who are finishing up some of their processes right now, but we will be tasking them with implementing it.
Okay, I lied. There's actually a good question. If there are no PRs, how will Hugo nomination, voting, and site selection forms be distributed to members?
Email.
Okay, that is time. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.